My name is Anthony Parker. I want to send a shout out to my co-host, Kim Daniels. That's right. This is the Parker Daniels Show, where we make changes, no excuses. I want to send a big shout out to them Tigers. They played a pretty good game last Saturday against Southeastern, and I'm hoping they pull it out against Auburn. I don't know, they need some work. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Today we have a guest, one of my boys, who I've been trying to track down for the longest. He an interesting fellow. He from Baton Rouge. He's also totally blind. And he has some special things going, so y'all want to stay tuned to the end of the show because he's going to hit you with some hot tracks. So, without further delay, I'm going to bring on my boy, my PNC, Mr. Ken. What's up, Ken?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
Chilling. Man, it's been a long time. I've been trying to track you down to get you on this show, man. Finally got you and everything, and so I hope you have some things that you can tell these people and some exciting things and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, is you ready? Are you ready? I mean, people get on me for the English that I use. I should be tripping, but anyway, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm more than ready, man. I'm past ready.
So, without further ado, Ken, tell the people about yourself, where you from, and a little history about your eye condition. And then we're going to move on from there. So let me shut up and you handle your BI. Go ahead.
Okay, cool, no problem. This Ken, all right. I'm from Baton Rouge, as you mentioned just earlier. I went to Struma High, graduated '01. Shout out to my Indians. After 2001, I enrolled at the Baton Rouge Vocational College, which was known as Baton Rouge Votechnical College. Everybody knows it as BRCC now, but that goes to show you how old I am.
Yeah, you kind of old as dirt, huh?
One of them 80s babies. So, let me see what else I can tell you all. Have 3 wonderful children, 2 boys and a girl, ages 14, 11, and 8. I also do a little rap blues. Been unemployed since August of last year, so I'm still looking for employment.
What kind of work you used to do?
Well, I was working for this company called the Louisiana Lighthouse for the Blind, which they hire people that has visual impairments and stuff like that. So that was my last job or whatnot.
What other jobs did you have, but aside from that one?
Okay, actually, 2009. Which was the year that I went blind. I was working for this company called Empire Scaffold, which I was the yard manager out there in Homer, Louisiana. And I was also working for Terrebonne General Hospital as a floor technician. So, that's what I was saying about 2009 was when I lost my vision due to diabetes or whatnot.
Okay, let's talk about that. Expound on that. You went blind in 2009 due to diabetes. I'm just paraphrasing. Give us a little bit more insight in terms of how it happened, or just.
Yeah, no problem. What I really didn't know was how it affects diabetes. The disease diabetes affects your nerves and stuff in your eye, which is your retina or whatnot. So, me not following my diet, I have been having diabetes since I was like 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so it basically happened by me not following my strict diet of eating, vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Just wanted to eat anything I wanted to eat. So that was the repercussions of that, 2009. Actually, I was noticing I had like a line in my vision, like a scratch. I thought it was like one of my lenses was scratching or whatnot. Come to find out, it was my retina. Your retina is supposed to be flat, but mine was crumbling up actually. So that happened in 2009. And so I've been blind for going on 9 years. As a matter of fact, this November will be my 9th year of being visually impaired.
How have you been able to cope with the fact that you had sight and then all of a sudden, due to diabetes, You ended up going blind. How tell the people how you were able to cope, or were you able to cope, or what was your instant uh, response?
Sure, no problem. And it's kind of hard as a person who had sight, and then wake up the next morning having problems with your vision and so forth. What happened was it took me a long time to kind of adjust. Being able to get up and drive wherever I needed to go, and then having to have someone drive for me. So it took me a long time to to really adjust to that to this situation. So anybody who are going through this situation, I can give them some good advice, and that'll be like just keep having faith. Everything happens for a reason, of course. But it's not the end of the world. It could be the situation could be a whole lot worse. I always think about people that's going through situations that may be a little more difficult than what I'm going through. People that's at a worse position that I'm in. So that kind of.
Were you receiving any support from your family, friends, or anybody like that?
Oh yeah. And it's another thing you can also put down. It affects people who you're around as well. Your family, your loved ones, your husband or either your wife or whatnot. Yeah. When I came home in 2009, like I was saying, like I mentioned earlier, I was staying at home, so I came back to my mother. Which she stays in Baker, and it was kind of hard on her as well. Used to seeing me up and moving around, and actually seeing me suffer. It kind of it had a drawback on everybody who loved me as well, like my father, my mother. It affected them as well too, because for one, she was working and she had to kind of take a leave of absence to look after me, make sure I make my doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So it just don't affect the person who suffers from visual impairments. It also affects the persons or the people who are around you as well.
That's a good point, Ken. I've spoken with people who have lost their sight later on in their lives, and some of them dealt with it in different ways, but there were some who also were kind of depressed afterwards. Were at any time were you kind of depressed, like, dang, why me?
Oh yeah, man. Plenty of days I sat in a room, just basically crying, and stuff like that. But what kept me going is having some support around me, people who loved me or whatnot. Also just having strong faith in God, it drew my faith even stronger as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying a few minutes ago, everything kind of happened for a reason. So I just took my lick and just kept moving or whatnot. It's no lie, I thought I was facing a lot of depression as well.
Right.
Just a lot of dark days. Being in the room and just wondering why me. Why did it have to happen to me or whatnot. Why couldn't it happen to anybody else? So it was a lot of depression, at first. But I learned, to deal with it.
What about the interaction with the kids? Were you able to interact? Because I know, you probably was able to.
Yeah. Well, actually, my daughter was still in the womb when I was seeing, so she never had the opportunity to take a ride with me, or just me and her going on car rides or whatnot. But my other two children, they do remember me driving and stuff like that. So it wasn't that hard. But it's kind of, how to say this, it's kind of hard now, because as they stay with me over the summers and the holidays, it's times where I might just want to get up and just take them, to different places or whatnot, and have to wait on somebody to come pick us up. That was the most hardest time I believe being visually impaired. Having to wait on somebody, and also having to have patience.
Right.
To wait on somebody. That's another part as well. You have to have, you have to move when somebody else is ready to move. You just can't look and say, "I'm ready to go now," and they ready to go as well.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so I have to learn to have patience with, with people and stuff, and not to take my anger out on them. I was also doing that as well, having a lot of bad days and just taking my frustrations out on people who didn't mean me, no harm in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, just learning to deal with it as time went on.
Well, I've worked with you and for some time, and I've noticed that you were very upbeat, very positive about it. You know what I'm saying? So I give you your credit as far as that's concerned. So as we move further along in your in your life, basically briefly tell us how was it afterwards in terms of you trying to find a job and what did you do afterwards in terms of getting involved? You say you were in the music business. Give us a little insight as to what you did after you've accepted and moved on from becoming blind.
Oh, sure, no problem. So let me see, maybe it's from 2000, the end of 2009 to up to 2013. I was unemployed, and I was going through a few surgeries the first couple of years, so I wasn't really able to actually get out and put applications in. I really was just collecting my SSDI, so I kind of lived off there for a while. And like I was saying, I was also staying with my mother and father, who helped me tremendously a lot. So around 13, mid 13 is when I put the application in for the Louisiana Lighthouse for the Blind. I actually seen them on TV. They had a commercial, and my mother
Right.
seen the ad in the paper. So I went through LRS, which is, I want to give a shout out to them as well. They kind of put me in touch with the Lighthouse or whatnot, and they took a chance on me, which I'm mostly appreciative of that. Because most employers, they don't really want to take chances on people with disabilities, especially vision impairments, because I guess they figured that if something was to happen on the job, we'll be a liability, more than an asset. So I guess
Right.
they really don't want to take a chance on.
I can relate to that definitely. So what was your title at this place?
Okay, I was a material handler, and I was also a boxer and bagger.
Okay, that's what's up. So what caused you, at what point did you decide to get into the music business?
Oh man, one of my ex co-workers by the name of Wade Obey heard me rapping. I used to always come to work, and like you were saying a few minutes ago, always upbeat, so I would come to work and have my headphones on and be rapping. So he overheard me one day rapping a song, and he said he was making tracks or whatnot. So this was like 2014. It was about 14. Long story short, we met up after work one day, and he was the one that really introduced me to being an artist, and showing me how to write verses and the hooks and stuff like this. So I got to give him a shout out as well.
That's good.
It what it does is like, it's like a vent almost, like,
Right.
It takes my mind off
Right.
the situation that I'm in right now, and different things like that. It just takes my mind to a good space, So
Right.
yeah, I've been doing that since like 14 or whatnot.
So basically, it's a form of therapy for you. Is that
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
So are you professionally doing it, or is it pastime? Or are you making any money? Or are you putting out albums? What's the deal? Briefly.
Well, actually, let me see. I hadn't put an album or a single out since last year, which everybody can follow me on Facebook, Ken Charles, or you can YouTube me as well, Ken Charles, and type in Swing Out. That was the last single that I put out, but we've been actually in the studio, recording. We started back this summer, so I'm gonna try to drop something probably the first quarter of 19 of next year. I'm gonna try to drop something 2019. So be kind of looking out for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Pepper Shaker.
Pepper Shaker. Okay.
I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna try to drop that and move it. Try to push it probably around February, so like that. But as a visually impaired person, it's more harder for us to kind of get out and act. You know what I'm saying? You have to be on someone else's time. So
Right.
That's kind of why I hadn't put music out in a while. But I love to do it, man. It's like you saying,
Okay.
it's a therapy. It's a release for me to jot down, some words and stuff. And the way I do my music, by me being visually impaired, if you ever notice all of my songs, I'm kind of letting you know what's around me. So people who can't see, they can kind of, it takes them away. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a song, Swing Out. I start off, I say, this is for the fellas who wear the Stacy's and the pretty ladies shopping at Macy's. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
always letting people know what's the objects and stuff what's going on in the song.
Okay,
so they can have a visually,
right. And that's I guess that does stem from being visually impaired, because everything has to be more on a descriptive manner. So that's pretty good. So we can expect something from you in 2019. Hopefully we can get you back on here and do a little freestyle or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, can you just give us a little brief summary as to any advice that you can give any individuals who may be in the same situation, predicament that you're in, that can uplift them? Because this is what this show is all about, the Parker Daniels Show, where we try to uplift individuals and what have you. So what can you tell them?
Oh, awesome, no problem, man. I also want to say, man, I surely appreciate what y'all doing, for the community as well, because there's a lot of people who, maybe can't get out to where you are or whatnot, but they can just type in on YouTube and have a little inspiration that day. So if this can touch, even one person, feel like I done did a service, and I surely appreciate y'all doing this. But back to your question, my advice would be, man, just never give up. It's not the end of the world. Situations could be a whole lot worse. It's people that's, not to say this in a bad way, but it's people that's in a whole lot worse situation,
right.
being, paralyzed from the neck down, So
right.
that kind of what keeps me going. That it could be a whole lot worse. People could be feeding you things that you don't even know what it is. So you could be in a home or something, and they're treating you wrong. So it can always be worse. So, but my advice is to keep your faith in God. He hasn't forgotten you. And just stay prayed up, man. Find a good hobby too. That kind of ease your mind and take your mind off something for a while, or even if you can find a good job to work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are words to live by, and you seem like you are functioning pretty well with the fact that you have an impairment. I want to thank you for coming on, as well as my co-host Kim Daniels. I want to thank you for sharing your story, and hopes that it touches one person out there, and that means that your job is well done. So, with that being said, I want to take a pause and say, continue to subscribe to the Parker Daniels Show. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can get updates, and share, comment. Definitely, we want your comments and what have you. And I appreciate the subscribers thus far. So with that being said, Ken, won't you hit them with that hot track right quick?
Ow!
Thanks again for coming on to the Parker Daniels.